Yo, what's good, Sixer Nation? DFJ Hoops here, back again with another post-game live show. Hey, as y'all come in, please make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into this. Salute to my guy BJ in the building. What's good, bro? He says salute 2 in a row. Y'all can't beat us, and I agree with you. Duck the Cavaliers at all costs. Avoid the Cavaliers at all costs. Excuse me. Yeah, I said this last time. Right. I said this 2 days ago. Was it yesterday? Not 2 days ago. That the 76ers have issues or they have huge trouble beating the Cavaliers. Right. So yeah, the Sixers come playoff time, I agree. The Sixers should duck the Cleveland Cavaliers at all times, right? But yeah, let me not waste any more time. Let's just get right into this. So the 76ers took on the Cleveland Cavaliers twice in 3 nights. 2 games in 3 nights, actually. Both of them in Philly. And the Cavaliers found a way to come up on top on both times, right? Both times. Now, prior to the game starting, I didn't even think Dominic Barlow was going to play in this game because the game before he went down with the lower back, was it a lower back injury, leg injury, whatever it was. So I felt like he was going to be out for a few games, but I was so surprised. I was so shocked to see him out there starting. So, glad that he's not. I mean, he did go down with it, and he did, feel some. He was in some pain, but he was still good to go last night. So, um, yeah, I was happy. I was happy for that. Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers had 2 players out, which they did go out in the game on Wednesday, right? Which is Darius Garland and Sam Merrill. So, wishing those 2 guys a speedy recovery. But the Sixers had everybody healthy. Sixers had everybody out there. Embiid was out there. Paul George was out there. Now, people were saying that Embiid wasn't going to play, but Embiid was, he did play last night. And I don't know why people were saying that because it wasn't a back-to-back, right? They had a day in between games. So he was definitely going to be out there playing for the Sixers. Now, let's get into the first quarter action and let's talk about everything that that went on in the game. Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think the Sixers came out with a very, very brilliant strategy, and the Sixers were not going to let Donovan Mitchell go off against them for the second game in a row, right? And I felt like that was a great, great strategy because you're taking out the best player and then you're daring other guys to beat you, right? You're daring other role players to beat you. Now, speaking of role players, Jalen Tyson had the game of his career last night against the 76ers. And I heard people saying it's only against the Sixers where role players seem to go off against them. Now, me personally, I felt like that was a good strategy to go for because when Donovan Mitchell goes off, guess what? It ends up in a blowout. The first matchup when he went for 40 plus, Sixers got ran out the gym, right? And then in the second matchup when he went off for 30 plus, it also ended up in the blowout. So that strategy was good. And I mean, this is a basketball game. This is the pros. This is the NBA. Everybody is good. Everybody can score the basketball, right? So if you're daring a role player to go off, and let alone a second-year player to go off, if he's able to go off and they get the victory, if he's able to go off, I mean, the whole strategy is to dare him to beat you. So if he's able to go off and you get the victory, I mean, you shake his hand after the game, right? But the thing is that the 76ers ended up losing with this strategy. So it kind of brings a question like, what strategy should we go for next time? Should we let Donovan Mitchell go off again, or let the role players go off? But I mean, if you let Donovan Mitchell go off, you're gonna lose definitely because it's happened twice already. So I think they definitely had the winning formula last night. And the Sixers were in control for the majority of the game, to be honest with y'all. But it was just, in the clutch, I think Cleveland made more winning plays, and the Sixers, a few missed opportunities here or there, and not guarding defensively, not being at the right place at the right time defensively. that's what ended up causing the Sixers to lose this one, right? But let's get started with the first quarter. So the first quarter, I mean, VJ Edgecombe got the Sixers going with his pull up midi. Now, VJ, there's been talks that VJ should be involved more in the offense, which I agree to a certain degree, right? I agree. Salute to Bruce. Salute. Yeah, it's not looking good for the Sixers. It's not against the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's not right. 3 games, they lost all 3 of them. It's not looking good for them, but they play them a final time. I think later on in the season, probably late in the season. But I mean, that game is not really going to matter because maybe the Cavs are going to bench all day players. So I mean, I don't know, but it's just terrible for the Sixers, right? But VJ starts us off, with a pull up midi, and there's talks that he should be involved in the offense more. I mean, I think his role in the offense is okay. I mean, he's a ball handler. He can get to the basket, he can shoot the three when he gets those opportunities. Right now, I don't think he should be like more involved, like be the third option on this team. I mean, you can't have a rookie be a third option and expect to win a championship, or even expect to be a contender. Right, it's not gonna happen. VJ is not as good as he's not as good as Magic Johnson. Right, he's good, but he's not Magic Johnson good. Right, so let's just keep it real. His role is perfectly fine, and I don't think I don't think he needs to be taking more shots. I mean, people are saying he should take more shots than Joel Embiid, which sounds absurd, but that's some of the delusion within some of the Sixer fans, right? That's the delusion within the Sixer fan base. But I think Maxey, taking most of the shots, and then Embiid, and then George, I think that's a much better winning formula than VJ being your second option, right? But Cleveland, they got off to a rough start. They kind of had a similar start. Um, a similar start. Not, I mean, not a similar start, but how the Sixers started on Wednesday night. They had something similar to that, where they were turning the ball over, and the Sixers did a good job, forcing those turnovers. Paul George came up with a few turnovers himself. VJ had a couple. Maxey also had a couple too. Maxey had a lot of steals in this game, and also later on he had a ton of steals. But Joel Embiid got into a rhythm early. He got to his spots. They ran the 2-man game between himself and Maxey, and he was able to get to his spots and then knock down a few jumpers right in Jared Allen's face. And Jared Allen did not really do a good defensive job. I mean, guarding Embiid it's always going to be difficult for anybody, right? And especially Joel Embiid having that weight on him, and then putting that big ass shoulder into your chest. He had that one bump where Jared Allen went flying almost out of bounds, and then Joel Embiid had all the time and space in the world to knock down the jumper, and it was just it was just funny. But I felt like the effort defensively from Jared Allen was not. It could have been better, right? It could have been better. The night before it was much better, but um, I mean, 2 nights ago it was much better, but last night it wasn't as good, right? And then Joel Embiid, he was doing what he does best, getting to his spots, setting screens, popping, to the elbow area, shooting those elbow jump shots, and then also drawing fouls on Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, and then getting to the free throw line to knocked down a couple free throws. Joel Embiid finished the first quarter with 12 or 13 points, I think. Yeah, he finished with 13 points, right? He was 4 for 7 with 13 points. Paul George chipped in with 7 points. Paul George, he had a three, also hit a layup and a mid range jump shot. And then VJ Edgecombe also hit a three, right? So the 76ers took an early lead in the first, and it kind of seemed like the Cavs were struggling. But even though Jalen Tyson was hitting shots, right? Jalen Tyson was getting hot. They gave him some wide open looks, and Paul George was guarding them in the first quarter, right? Paul George was on them, and I felt like Paul George was helping off to go double team somebody else, and he had those wide open. Jalen Tyson had those wide open 3 pointers, and he was just letting it fly, right? Not hesitating and just shooting it. And I mean, he had a good, great shooting game. I think he was like what 6 for 9 from the 3 point line, so he caught fire from the 3 point line. And you just got to shake his hand. I mean, a second year player, he has a role on this Cavalier team, and I feel like he plays a role better than anybody, right, at the three position. Me personally, I think the Cavs should get off Max Strus and have him as a starting three, in my opinion, because he was hot offensively, and then defensively he was also playing some good defense on Tyrese Maxey. He's the sole reason why Tyrese Maxey in back to back games is not playing well. Right now, let me get on this kid for a few minutes here. Tyrese Maxey has been so disappointing in these last two games. Now he did go off. He did go off on the. He did go off on the Toronto Raptors on Monday night. Right. We give him props. We gave him praise. We gave him his flowers. What have you. But in these last two games against the Cavaliers, it hasn't been good. Right. Hasn't been good. He's struggling. Now last night he did make plays that led to scoring opportunities for the Sixers. So we got to give him credit for that. I think he had 8 assists or 9 assists, right? So he did make some plays, but in terms of him trying to get into some kind of rhythm, it just wasn't there. Because Jalen Tyson was playing some good defense on him, right? Even Tyrese Proctor, the rookie from this drafted from the second round, he came off the bench. Was also playing some good defense on him, and also DeAndre Hunter, right? Those guys were just using their length and their athleticism to bother Maxey, and you can tell he was clearly bothered, right? He was clearly bothered, and yeah, they stifled him with the defense, right? They stifled him with the defense, and I'm seeing a lot of people make excuses for Maxey, right? I'm seeing a lot of excuse makers, even from some Cavalier fans, right? Even from some Cavalier fans, there's a lot of excuses being made for him, and it's just like when he plays terrible, we're not wrong to criticize him, right? When he plays well, we give him his credit, we give him his props, right? We give him all the love, we show him all the love, right? And I still think he's a top 5 guard in the Eastern Conference. I'm not gonna say he's not, but when he plays terrible, we definitely have to criticize him. And in these last two games, he's played terrible. And I can do nothing but criticize, right? Now I can give him props for, coming up huge in the clutch, trying to, help the Sixers win this one. But his overall performance in this game was terrible, right? It was just terrible. And I'm not just gonna look at his performance in the clutch and make it seem like that's how he performed for the entirety of the game, because that's not how he performed, right? He was missing easy opportunities around the rim. He was missing threes, right? Taking shots early in the shot clock, right? Opportunities where he was in transition, and instead of him going to the basket because his shots was not falling, he would just stop at the 3 point line and jack up a three. And he was missing shots like that, right? So when he plays terrible, we gotta criticize him. But like I said, Jalen Tyson getting hot and also playing some good defense. Like his performance was so impressive, because as hot as he was offensively, he was also playing some great. I mean, I'm not gonna say great, but he was also playing some good defense, right? Good defense on Maxey, good defense on Paul George. He had those switches on Paul George that he played some good defense on too as well. So you just have to give him his credit. But the Sixers got into an early lead, but the Cavaliers late in that first, they found a way to go on a 8-0 run, and they were able to tie it up at 31. And I think they tied it up with that 3 pointer from Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell only had 3 points in the first quarter, right? So the strategy was to force other guys to beat you, and for whatever reason, it was just working for the Cavs because somebody stepped up for them, right? And it was Jalen Tyson. Evan Mobley also had a stretch in that first quarter himself. He dropped 7 points in that first quarter, but I felt like the Sixers, yeah, that was a good strategy. I mean, I'm not gonna say great, but that was a good strategy. But unfortunately, you just wasn't able to get the victory, right? You just wasn't able to get the victory, and yeah, it's just a good game that just went down the drain, right? Salute to Bruce, salute. But in the second quarter, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, they both started off on the bench, and on these Sixer platforms, these Sixer group chats, people are always calling out Nick Nurse. Why are you benching Maxey and Embiid together at the same time? Me personally, I felt like the Sixers were doing okay in that second quarter, right? At some point, they took a 10-point lead, if I'm not mistaken, in that second, with Maxey and Joel Embiid off the floor. When it was Paul George, when it was VJ Edgecombe, when it was Quentin Grimes running the show, they found a way to get up by 10 points right? He found a way to get up by 10 points. PG, scored a few in that second quarter, early in that second. VJ Edgecombe also scored a few in that early second quarter. And then Adem Bona has some great, great moments. Good moments. He had some good moments in that second quarter, where he was turning defense into offense, running the floor, also having a huge dunk as well. Getting set up by Paul George and VJ Edgecombe, right? And he has some good moments in that second, early in that second, and it did contribute to how the Sixers got up by 10 points. And Cavalier sucks, says Embiid needs to retire. See, you see what I'm talking about? And he's one of the Cavs fans that's making excuses for Maxey, right? He's one of the ones making excuses for Maxey. Maxey had more shot attempts than he had points, and he's still making excuses for him, right? Maxey took 23 shots to get 22 points. If Embiid did that, he'd be criticizing Embiid, but because it's Maxey, y'all just want to, y'all want to treat him with kid gloves. I don't treat these players with kid gloves, right? For the standard that I hold him up to, when you play like trash, I'm gonna criticize you. Now, if you play good, I'm gonna definitely give you your flowers, right? And that's another thing, right? Because he's, Maxi has a good personality. He smiles all the time. The fans love him. So when he plays like trash, it's like it's difficult. Like we don't want to criticize him because he's playing. No, fuck that. That's the same shit I be doing with Chris Paul. When he plays like trash, we should be able to criticize him. Nobody's above getting criticized. So this is Maxi, bro. I don't care whose team it is, right? If it's okay, it's his team. Okay, cool, no problem. So when he plays like trash, I have every right to criticize him or call him out, right? When he plays like absolute garbage, I should be able to criticize him because if he's the best player on the team, if it's his team, that means he's the best player, correct? So if he's the best player, I should be able to criticize him. But no, Maxi didn't give us a chance to win. That's not true. Did he come up huge in the clutch? Yes. But what about the first three quarters? Was it not Embiid? Was it not Paul George? Was it not the other guys also stepping up, making shots? Right. So in the clutch, because he was able to tie the game up, or get 6 to 7 points in the clutch, you want to give him all the credit. But in the first three quarters, when he was playing like garbage, you don't want to call him out on that. That's just not fair. Right? That's just not fair. It's not fair. And if it wasn't for the other guys, would he be in the position to go off in the clutch? I don't think so. Right. So the VJ Edgecombs, the Quentin Grimes, even though Quentin Grimes had a mediocre performance, those other guys, you gotta give them props. Kelly Oubre, right? You gotta give those guys props too. So yeah, Tune, just keep it 100, bro. Just keep it 100, bro. That's all I'm saying. He had 22 points and nine assists. That's cool. That's cute. But like I said, he took 23 shots to get 22 points. Do you realize how many 23 is? 23 is a lot of shots. And to only get 22 points, more shot attempts than points scored. That's terrible. Right? That is terrible. And I don't care if he smiles a lot. I don't care if he has a great personality. I don't care if the fans love him. I'm gonna criticize you, right? If Embiid play like trash, I'm gonna criticize him too, right? And as bad as Embiid looked defensively, Embiid was getting dunked on, punched on. Embiid probably got dunked on like 4 times in this game. I ain't never seen nobody get dunked on that many times in a basketball game, but getting dunked on by Evan Mobley in the first quarter, getting dunked on by Tomlin, getting dunked on by DeAndre Hunter. Yeah, he was. I mean, at least he was giving effort, right? You don't just get dunked on for no reason, right? He tried to contest, and unfortunately, he got dunked on, right? He said Embiid got dunked on by a guy who just started playing basketball this year. Yeah, is it Naquan Tomlin? Yeah, yeah. I did a couple of research. He went to a community college, which is the lowest level of college basketball that anybody could play. But I mean, it don't matter, bro. It don't matter. Athleticism is athleticism. You can't teach athleticism, and he's super athletic. And Embiid got there a step late, and it is what it is. But Embiid had a huge block uh, Embiid had a huge block on DeAndre Hunter, right? So the lift is just not there, right? The lift is not there, so it's easy to attack him in the paint. So it is what it is. But I mean, he gave effort, and that's all you could ask for, right? That's all you could ask for. But let me continue with the second. So the Sixers, up by 10 points, being led by Paul George, VJ Edgecombe, Quentin Grimes. Um, but the Cavaliers started going on a run, right? They started going on a run, and they go on an 8-0 run to cut the deficit to two, and that was, the Sixers having empty back-to-back possessions. The Sixers had two back-to-back possessions in that stretch. VJ Edgecombe, trying to size up Tyrese Proctor. Proctor just takes the ball from him and has an easy 2 points on the other end. Um, the next turnover was Kelly Oubre trying to pass it to he was trying to pass it to Paul George in the corner, but DeAndre Hunter was in the DeAndre Hunter was in the he was in the passing lane. He was able to pick it up. And the Cavs were able to go on the 8-0 run, right? And they cut it to two. But that's when, the Sixers call time, and then Embiid checks in, Maxey checks in. And then when Embiid checked in, Embiid on the offensive end, he started going to work, right? He had that floater, which was, it was kind of similar to the Nikola Jokic floaters, right? Embiid don't typically go to floaters, right? I don't think he even has that in his arsenal, but hit that floater. Next possession, he was able to get to the free throw line, hit a couple free throws. And then that's when Trendon Watford checked in, right? Trendon Watford checked in, and he just, he went straight to work, right? He had a mismatch. He had the step through, was able to finish at the basket. I didn't even think that, Trendon Watford was going to play, but Nick Nurse, was able to find some minutes for him to play in. Also, he did get a couple minutes in the second half too. So, um, but somebody who didn't play, you know, Jared McCain, right? Jared McCain has been, up and down a lot this season. A few good games, but a lot of bad games. And it seems like he's not in any kind of rhythm whatsoever. But it's just like I said, I think he's going through a sophomore slump, and a lot of players do go through it, and I think he's just one of them that had to experience it. But I think he's definitely going to be fine. Now, whether the Sixers are going to trade him or not, I don't know. But at this point, how things are moving, it kind of seems like they might package him for somebody else, right? They might package him and a few other players to bring in somebody else. So, um, but the Cavs, they go on their run. The Cavs are able to take the lead, which was a Donovan Mitchell 3 pointer. But after Donovan Mitchell hit that three, Maxey came back and he had a 3 pointer on his own too. I think that was the second 3 pointer that he hit, and at that point he was like 2 for 6 at that point, right? I mean, Maxey was not in any kind of rhythm whatsoever. Shots are not falling. The Cavs are not giving him any breathing space. He's not able to, take over with the speed and get to the basket and finish. And Cleveland played good defense on him, right? Give Cleveland a lot of credit. They played good defense on him. Even off those pick and rolls, right? Even off those pick and rolls, they were able to, stick with the pick and keep up with Maxi. But sometimes off the pick and roll, I mean, Maxi would make a good read, find Embiid off the pop, and Embiid would just make a shot, right? So, but Maxi getting his buckets, like, it was very, very tough for him. But late in that second, I mean, the Sixers go on the 8-0 run, and they take a 7 point lead, and that run helped them, head into the half with a 7 point lead. And but still, Jalen Tyson, he was doing his thing. Guys were coming off the bench doing their thing. But one thing about Donovan Mitchell, even though he was struggling, I think Donovan Mitchell was 4 for 13 in this game. But he was still rebounding, right? He was getting rebounds, and also he was getting assists, right? He was making plays. So Sixers were double teaming him, but he was also able to, make the right reads and find the wide open man or swing it to somebody, and then the next person will make the next pass to the corner for the open man, right? Now, even though the defense was much better than the first game, there was still a lot of wide open threes that guys were getting, right? DeAndre Hunter had a lot of wide open threes. Jalen Tyson had multiple wide open threes. Other guys had wide open threes, and that's how they were, getting their points. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, the two threes that he hit, they were all wide open, and they were also deep, deep threes. But he was able to knock him down, even though he wasn't in any kind of rhythm whatsoever. But that goes to show you the skill level of these guys in today's era, right? They're able to knock down threes, and you know, oh, he said Donovan Mitchell at 12. Was it Donovan Mitchell at 12? So Donovan Mitchell at 12, and then Craig Porter Jr. also had, I think he had double digit assists too. So those guys were making plays for each other, right? Those guys were making plays, and it's the reason why those buckets were easy for them, right? Because somebody was making those plays for them. So congrats, shout out to them, bro. The honeymoon over with Jeremy Kane. He had a good run. Nah, it's not over with, bro. Trust me. Next year, he's definitely gonna go off. He's definitely gonna go off next year. But so the Sixers, after the half, they, heading into the third, they had the lead, which was so much better, right, compared to the game prior, because the game prior they only dropped like 47 points in the half, right, and the Cleveland Cavaliers dropped 60. So definitely a huge improvement. Um, Definitely, it was definitely a huge improvement. But going into the third, Joel Embiid started the Sixers off with his mid range shot because Paul George attempted a 3-pointer, he missed it, but Joel Embiid, the ball just bounced right to him. Right, he was able to get the rebound. Um, he posted up Jared Allen, and was able to get the fade. Right, I think he had back to back middies, if I'm not mistaken. And Embiid was playing in the post, right? So, um, the beginning of the season, I mean, Embiid was taking a lot of threes. He was taking a lot of threes, but he did hit a couple of threes in this one. I think he hit two. One in the first, and then the second one was in the fourth, right? When he checked in the fourth, late in the fourth quarter, a wide open three in the corner, and he was able to hit that. But he was also playing in the post, and that's something that you would love to see from him, right? You would love to see him to operate in the post, especially when he gets those mismatch opportunities. That's very huge for him. But Jalen Tyson, after Embiid, gets those back-to-back buckets. I mean, he hits two threes on his own, because those threes were wide open. Donovan Mitchell will get in between the teeth of the defense, and make a play. Kick it out, and then those guys were making extra passes, and the ball was just finding Jalen Tyson every single time. Right, every single time in that weak side corner, it was just finding him, and he was just the 3 pointers was just like they were so easy for him, right? They were so easy for him. But Jalen Tyson hits those. He hits those two threes, and then it's a back and forth at that point. I think in that stretch, Maxey had a couple layups. Donovan Mitchell, found a way to make a push. The Cavaliers made a push in that third, but the 76ers were able to make timely buckets. And even though they had the lead, they had the lead. They were up by two possessions, but Cleveland would try to make a come, like try to make a push, try to make it a one possession game, but the Sixers will score on the other end, and it just kept being back and forth. But in that stretch, Kelly Oubre hits a three, and that's where that's where Naquan Tabla hit that. He had his own dunk contest within that third quarter, right? Late in that third, he had his own dunk contest. He had a dunk. I think Oubre was about to contest, but Oubre got out the way, and he had that dunk. And then another dunk attempt, he got fouled. And then the next one, he just cut. DeAndre Hunter was able to find him on that cut, and he just slammed it. Um, he just yammed it on Embiid, and Embiid was just trying to contest, but unfortunately, he got caught up on that on that poster, and it was just like it was a huge play. It was a good dunk. I ain't gonna lie. Like, that was for a guy like that, getting to play over a former MVP, right? That's definitely gonna be the highlight of his career, right? I think he's a rookie or maybe a second year player. I don't know, but getting a dunk over Embiid, that's definitely going to be huge, right? So at this point, that's the only thing you're going to ride on. But Maxey finally hits another three, um, which helped. which helped give the Sixers a 7 point lead heading into the fourth, right? Heading into the fourth. But I think in the third, the Sixers and the Cavs, they both scored 29 points, if I'm not mistaken. So, like I said, it was going back and forth. Like no team. I mean, even though the Sixers had separation, but the Cavs kept scoring. Yeah, Jalen Tyson had 12 points in that third quarter. Right, he had two threes. Got to the free throw line, and he had one bank shot off the glass, and I think Embiid was coming over to contest him, but he was able to get the shot off before Embiid got there, and that was such a good play. Right, that was such a good play. Um, but Embiid also, 12 points in that third. Embiid almost played the entire third quarter, right until I think about a minute left. That's when Adem Bona checked in, and Nick Nurse made some subs. He made some subs in that third, and yeah, Maxey had 5 points. Quentin Grimes had three. Kelly Oubre had seven. Like I said, Kelly hit that huge. I mean, not huge, but he hit that 3 pointer that gave the Sixers. It gave them separation, made it a 2 possession game. And Cleveland, Cleveland kept fighting. Right, they were not going down without a fight, and it was just scary because for their best player to be struggling, right? And they still were able to still be in the game. That was very, very huge for them, right? It was very, very huge for them. And it seemed like every time the Sixers scored, like they had an answer, right? They were just coming right back. Whether it was a 3 pointer or somebody getting in the lane and then finishing, they always had an answer. Salute to my guy Mitch in the building. What's good, bro? Jared McCain got sent down to the Blue Coats. Oh, I didn't even realize because I knew Justin Edwards got sent to the Blue Coats. And shout out to Janai Broom. Shout out to Janai Broom. I think I saw it last night. He dropped 50. He dropped 50 in the game that they played. I don't know who they played against, but dropping 50 in the G League, yeah, you definitely, yeah, salute. Even though it don't mean anything, but getting 50 points is 50 points. So okay, just okay. So all right, then I probably missed it. Yeah, I probably missed it. But I don't think it's gonna do anything. I just think he's going through. I think he's going through a sophomore slump. A ton of players go through it. Because he was dealing with the injuries, and didn't really participate that much in training camp. That's definitely gonna affect him. And I compare him to Jaime Jaquez from the Heat. Jaquez had a great rookie campaign, right? At some point, he was like third in the rookie of the year race with Wemby and Chet Holmgren. But his second season was very, very shaky with the Heat, and then this season he was balling. I don't know what's going on right now with him, but early on he was balling. Right, he was leading the six men of the year race. So I think that's something similar that Jared McCain is going through, and I think next year he's definitely going to bounce back. Right, smash that like button as y'all come in. Smash that like button. But yeah, next year he's definitely going to bounce back. Embiid needs to be sent down after last night. Embiid, see, but you see the standard that this Cavalier talk dude is holding Embiid to. But Maxey don't got to get sent to the G League, right? In back-to-back games, like he played so bad. Embiid, who kept the Sixers in the game with his shot making ability, with his ability to set screens, like Embiid was setting some good ass screens for Maxey. It's not Embiid's fault that Maxey couldn't convert. Right, you can't blame Embiid for Maxey not converting. Right, even though Embiid did get dunked on, yeah, he got dunked on. It is what it is. At least he gave effort. Right, at least he gave effort. He didn't shy away from he still gave effort and not give two easy points to the opposing team. Right, and like I said, he did get a block on DeAndre Hunter. So yeah, just give him credit and stop hating. Right, stop hating. But let's get into the fourth because the fourth quarter, that's where it gets very, 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 very interesting, right? So the fourth quarter starts. Joel Embiid on the bench, Tyrese Maxey on the bench, Paul George, Quentin Grimes, VJ Edgecombe running the show. Now, for all the people that said, how can Embiid and Maxey be on the bench at the same time? The Sixers found a way to go up by double figures. right? They found a way to go up by double figures. Now Donovan Mitchell started the Cavaliers off making that 3-pointer, right? After he hit that three, it went down to a two possession game. But right after he hit that 3-pointer, VJ Edgecombe hit a three of his own, right? So he responded with the 3-pointer of his own to make it a 7-point game again, right? And then there was this back and forth where I think Quentin Grimes had two layups in a row. There was one play where he had the ball, he turned it over, but he got it back, and then once he got it back, he was able to convert it. But I think right before that, the Cavs hit a 3-pointer, and that was Jalen Tyson, right? He hit was it Jalen Tyson or Tyrese Proctor, one of them. The first lay, it made it an 11-point game, and then they hit that 3-pointer, right? So when they hit that 3-pointer, that's when Quentin Grimes, came back, had the ball, lost it, got it back, and then was able to go back up and then get it back to double figures. Right. The Sixers had a 10-point lead with Maxey and Embiid off the court. Right. So that's when Cleveland, they call it. I mean, I think it was Philly. The Sixers called a timeout at the 7:50 mark because Donovan Mitchell, I think, hit a 3-pointer. But you know, I think Quentin Grimes had a moment where he missed the easy bunny at the rim that could have, if he had made that layup, it probably would have helped the Sixers. But those missed layups, those missed opportunities from the Sixers, helped the Cavaliers go on a 10-0 run, and they were able to tie it up at 102. Right, the Cavaliers were able to tie it up at 102, but um, Grimes, Grimes doing what he does best. Uh, he tried to make something happen. Right, Quentin Grimes tried to make something happen. VJ tried to make something happen, but it was just they just couldn't score. Right, they just couldn't score. But that's when Joel Embiid. I think Maxey checked in. He checked in the game first, right? Maxey checked in, and then Joel Embiid later on checked in the game as well. Now, when Maxey came in, this is the part where Tuna Sports or Cavaliers talk. This is the point where he's been talking about where Maxey kept the Sixers in the game or gave the Sixers an opportunity to win. Maxey did show up in the clutch, right? I'm gonna give Maxey his props for that. Right, he kept the Sixers in the clutch, helped the Sixers, go on a run to respond to the run that the Cleveland Cavaliers went on. Right, um, I think in that stretch, Maxey had a layup off of steal. I think he stole the ball from Donovan Mitchell because Donovan Mitchell was trying to use that Jared Allen screen, but Maxey was able to poke it, and he got the steal, and then was able to hit the layup. Right, but right after he made that layup, I think the next possession, the 76ers hit a 3-pointer, and that 3-pointer was from Kelly Oubre. Right, so in that stretch, the Cavaliers, three turnovers in a row, and those turnovers helped the Sixers, go on a 7-2 run, right? And those 2 points came from Evan Mobley because he had that huge, he had that huge dunk, right? But it made it a 5-point, made it a 5-point lead for the Sixers, right? Made it a 5-point lead for the Sixers, but the Sixers, I think Embiid hit, he made a layup or had 2 points, and then the Sixers went up by 7 points. With 30, I mean, I said 33, with 3.33 seconds left on the clock, right? With 3 minutes and 33 seconds left on the clock, the 76ers had a 7-point lead. But that's when the Cavaliers, they went on their own run with Jalen Tyson hitting a three, DeAndre Hunter with that huge dunk on Embiid, and then Jalen Tyson hitting another three, right? And that run right there helped the Cavaliers get the lead, right? It helped the Cavaliers get the lead. But that's when the next possession, I think either Evan Mobley or Jared Allen, they fouled Maxey. The Cavaliers didn't agree with the call, so the coaches challenged it, but it was an unsuccessful challenge. And the 76ers, Maxey still went to the free throw line. Right? Maxey went to the free throw line. Now, Maxey was able to make those two free throws. Um, able to make those two free throws, and those free throws gave the 76ers the lead, right? But right after that free throws, DeAndre Hunter, which I don't know. So, like, I've been thinking about this till right now. DeAndre Hunter was able to get a layup uncontested with everybody back, right? With everybody back, DeAndre Hunter was able to find his way in the paint, and nobody contested a shot, right? Nobody contested a shot. And once he made that layup, it gave the Cavs a 1 point lead, right? It gave the Cavs a 1 point lead. Now, I think before that, the Sixers had multiple missed opportunities. I mean, there was this point where Kelly Oubre had a 3 pointer. He had a 3 point attempt with the game on the line. Kelly Oubre was shooting a three with the game on the line. Now, I love Kelly Oubre. I love the effort that he plays with. I love the intensity that he plays with on a nightly basis. But with the game on the line, I don't want Kelly Oubre taking a 3 pointer, right? Kelly is a 31, 32, maybe a 33% 3 point shooter, right? In terms of his percentage. Now, he did hit a huge three earlier, but the game wasn't on the line at that point. That wasn't in the clutch. In the clutch, I'm not trusting Kelly Oubre with the game on the line, right? And I remember a similar instance where I think it was against the Pistons early on in the season, where Andre Drummond was taking a 3 pointer in the clutch. How is this happening with Paul George, Joel Embiid, and Maxey on the floor at the same time? It shouldn't be happening. Now, the Drummond three wasn't with those three guys, but I'm talking about Kelly Oubre taking a 3 pointer with the Sixers' best players on the court. That should not be happening. So I think, in moments like that, there should be a hierarchy, and certain guys should know their roles. And Kelly Oubre, you're best when you're going downhill with your left in the paint, right? That's when he's at his best. If he can take on a defender driving towards his left, yeah, you can take that shot all day, right? Because sometimes he's able to, come to a jump stop and then, uh, hit a jumper. Now, those shots I can live with, but not a 3 pointer from Kelly Oubre with the game on the line, right? So that missed opportunity right there. The very next possession, I think the Sixers, Paul George had an opportunity where he drove into the lane. And I think Jalen Tyson and Evan Mobley was on him, right? So he stopped and then he faded and then shot a tough turnaround fadeaway shot and left it short, right? He left it short. And then the Cavs go on the other side, and then Evan Mobley gets fouled. Evan Mobley gets fouled, right? So Evan Mobley gets fouled. The crowd, they were booing. Now it was a very, very bad call, right? It was a bad call. I think the Sixers challenged it, but they ended up, it ended up being an unsuccessful challenge. I felt like it was a bad call. But Evan Mobley gets to the line. Game on the line. I want my best players with the ball and trust them to make a play. Exactly. Right, exactly. That shit wasn't a foul, bro. Stop capping. That wasn't a foul. That was not a foul. Get out of here. That was not a foul. But Evan Mobley gets to the line, gets to the free throw line. And then the first one, he clanks it. Right, he misses the first one. So the crowd is happy. The crowd is into it now. The crowd, they wanted to miss both free throws because they would have gotten free chicken. Right, breaking for chicken. Right, they would have gotten free chicken. But he takes the second one and makes it. Right, he did make the second one, so it made it a 2 point lead. The Cavs were up by 2 points because the DeAndre Hunter layup that nobody contested gave them a 1 point lead, and then Evan Mobley's one free throw made it a 2 point lead. Right, now they go on the other side, and Maxey is able to hit a floater to tie the game up. Right, Maxey hits a floater and he ties the game up, and I think they had 8 seconds left on the game clock. Right. He literally hit his arm, shoulder. Come on, bro. Nah, that was not a foul. Get out of here. That wasn't a foul. Bro, play on. That's not a foul. That was marginal contact, bro. It was marginal contact. But the Cavs call time after Maxey hits the floater and ties the game up. right? They call time and they come out the timeout, right? Now that was a good play from the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? They drew up a play. I think it was a broken up play, but Lonzo Ball was the trigger man, right? He was supposed to, get the inbounds in. Now, Donovan Mitchell's on the court. Jalen Tyson is on the court. Evan Mobley's on the court. And I think DeAndre Hunter was on the court too. It was Lonzo, it was Zoe, Mitchell, Hunter, Mobley, and am I missing somebody else? Wait, Lonzo Ball, Jalen Tyson, DeAndre Hunter, Evan Mobley. Maybe Tomlin was in the game. I could be wrong. But the inbounds, Paul George was on Jalen Tyson, right? Paul George is on Jalen Tyson. And that was a huge mistake that Paul George did, which was him trying to go for the steal. Now, Jalen Tyson did a very, very good job of shielding Paul George with his off arm, with his left arm, and preventing the steal, right? Jalen Tyson gets the pass. He turns the corner, right? He turns the corner. And then once Paul George got beat, Joel Embiid was on Evan Mobley in the dunker spot. Now, once Paul George got beat, Joel Embiid has to stop the drive, right? He had to stop the drive. Now, VJ Edgecombe was in the corner on Donovan Mitchell on that play, right? Because I thought the ball, everybody in that, I thought the ball was going to Donovan Mitchell. I ain't even gonna lie. I thought it was going to Mitchell. But Jalen Tyson got it, beats Paul George because Paul George was trying to go for the steal, turns the corner, and he got a contest on that initial drive, right? Because Embiid was on Mobley, so he has to step up and stop the drive. And Jalen Tyson makes a very, very smart play with the wraparound pass to Evan Mobley, right? He gets the wraparound pass, gets it to Mobley, and then Mobley has a wide open dunk, right? And he flushes it. So the Cavs are up by 2 points. Cavaliers are up by 2. Now, the 76ers have no timeouts at this point, right? The Sixers have no timeouts. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. I mean, on the game clock, actually. 4 seconds left. Now, the Sixers inbounded. I think Embiid inbounded or somebody else. I don't know. Maxey got it. And, it was desperation at that point because there's only 4 seconds left on the clock. Maxey has it. He dribbles up, it gets to half court, and then he jacks it up. Now, there was debate on some of the Sixer group chats that I'm in on Facebook or whatever. There was debate that VJ Edgecombe was wide open and Maxey was supposed to hit VJ Edgecombe in the corner. I mean, on the wing. Just give it up to VJ because VJ has been clutch. VJ is hitting clutch shots for the Sixers. VJ has actually won games for the Sixers. VJ against the Raptors hit a huge, clutch three. Against the Grizzlies had that huge game winner, right? So VJ has been clutch. Now I don't know if Maxey had enough time. Now here's what I got from it. This was exactly when Maxey took the 3-pointer from the logo, actually. Now, if Maxey would have made the shot, yeah, the Maxey fanboys would have been talking all kinds of shit. Now, that's Maxey. That's Jalen Tyson. Right? Jalen Tyson was on Maxey. And then that's Lonzo Ball. Right? So these two guys are closing out on Maxey to prevent him from getting that shot off. Now, VJ Edgecombe is wide open in the on the wing right there on the Xfinity sign, right? VJ is wide open. Now it's 1.3 seconds left on the clock. Now that's why I'm saying I don't know if he had enough time to get the shot off. I mean to pass it off to VJ Edgecombe for VJ to shoot it, right? Me personally, I had no issues with Maxey taking the shot, right? I had no issues because he didn't really have enough time, and especially look at where the Cavaliers picked him up on that possession, right? Now, I believe if he had passed it off to VJ and had VJ had missed, the narrative would have been different. The narrative would have been Maxey was scared to take the shot. That's why he gave it to the rookie. That's what the narrative would have been, right? So I think at this point, like guys are in lose-lose situations. Now, me personally, like I just said, I don't have an issue with Maxey taking this shot. Smash that like button as y'all come in. Smash that like button. Appreciate y'all for being in here. Sixer Cavs post game reaction. But Maxey jacks this shot up. He takes a shot and he unfortunately comes up short. He misses, right? He misses the shot. And the Cavs are up by 2 points at that point. Now, this 3-pointer, had he had made it, let me get the comment off the screen. If he would have made the shot, the Sixers would have won this game, right? If he would have made it, because they were only down by 2. But the Sixers had no timeouts, right? The Sixers had no timeouts, and Maxey just had to let it go, right? He had to let it go. But I mean, if he would have passed it to VJ, I mean, that would have been a good shot too, because VJ has been clutch. VJ has shown that he has that clutch ability. Me personally, I think VJ is more clutch than MJ and Kobe Bryant. Yes, I said it. Hey man, let me calm down before the MJ and Kobe fans come from oh, you don't know basketball. Yeah, it was a joke, y'all. It was a joke. But he's been clutch, right? VJ has been clutch. And it still would have been a good shot, but the Sixers not winning this game was very, very sad because you had a 7 point lead. What was it, a 7 point lead with 3 minutes left? Yeah, you had a 7 point lead with three minutes left. But turnovers, not executing right, and then leaving guys wide open at the 3 point line. Jalen Tyson having a huge performance, a huge game, shooting the ball, and ultimately getting his career high. Because prior to this game, his career high was 31, right? His career high was 31. But end of the game, he got 39 points. Donovan Mitchell didn't really have to go off scoring wise, even though he was also making plays like getting rebounds and also making plays, being the facilitator because Darius Garland was not playing, right? So Donovan Mitchell found other ways to be impactful in this game, right? He found ways to be impactful in this game. And Jalen Tyson was able to execute and make shots when the Cavaliers needed it. And that's what happened. And the Cleveland Cavaliers ended up winning this game, right? And they take a 3-0 lead in the season series against the 76ers. Now, this season, the Cavs played the Sixers 4 times. Last year, they only played them 3 times. But the Cavs have won 3 out of the last 4 games against the 76ers. They've won twice on the Sixers' home court, right? One close game and one blowout. And then at home, on their home floor, they were able to blow the Sixers out the water. It wasn't even that close. But this game was, very, very frustrating because the Sixers, I felt like they had the winning formula, even though Jalen Tyson was going off, even though a couple guys were making shots. I think at one point Jalen Tyson was the only Cavalier in double figures, right? But at the end of the game, I mean, Donovan Mitchell ended up, dropping what, 13 points, 15 points. Jared Allen was able to get 10 points. Evan Mobley was able to get to double figures. I think DeAndre Hunter also got to double figures, if I'm not mistaken, right? And for the Sixers, I mean, Maxey was in double figures, obviously. Joel Embiid was in double figures. Paul George was in double figures, and maybe a couple others, and that was pretty much it. Right, that was pretty much it. But the game plan, the game strategy was a good one, right? Force their other guys to beat you, and let's focus everything on Donovan Mitchell. And in the beginning, it was successful because the Sixers were turning the Cavs over. The Sixers got a couple of turnovers, just like the Cavs were doing to the Sixers 2 nights ago, 3 nights ago actually. And it was a good formula. Now the only thing is that They kept giving up wide open threes, and these guys were just making shots. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but playing on the Sixers court, the three pointers kind of seem easy. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just watching it on the screen is like every shot they put up is just like, yeah, this shit going in. This shit is so easy, right? Cavalier success. So call out that weak foul they called on Allen on Maxey. Well, nah, Jared Allen actually fouled him. That was a legitimate foul. That was a legitimate foul. That wasn't no weak foul, bro. That was a legitimate foul. DeAndre Hunter like playing in Philly. I wonder why. I mean, DeAndre Hunter's a hooper. DeAndre Hunter's a hooper. Yeah, he can hoop. He can ball. And you know what's funny? I actually seen him play. I mean, not like seen him play, but seen video of him play on the court in West Philly. I think 60th and Olive in West Philly. And he was making shots, but he was very, very tough. Right. This was back in 2017, 2016. Yeah, it was a long time ago, 10 years ago. That's crazy. But yeah, DeAndre Hunter's a hooper, bro. He's a hooper, and the Cavs they did just enough to help them get the victory. And I think everybody that stepped on the floor contributed. Right, everybody that stepped on the floor contributed. I mean, Lonzo Ball did not really make shots. I mean, he made a ton of shots in the previous matchup, but the last night he didn't really make a lot of shots. Right. But I mean, I felt like other guys stepped up and they were able to get the victory, and that's all that matters at that point, right? That's all that matters. And yeah, let me just pull up the box score and let's go from there, right? So Jalen Tyson, so Jalen Tyson is probably, I mean, not even probably, he is the player of the game. Had a great performance from a second year player. And at this point, just give him credit, right? Just give him credit and do not hate on him because the Sixers have had VJ Edgecombe, a rookie, go off on some teams, right? So, and that's the NBA. One night, somebody on your team might be going off against another team. The next night, it might be a different player on a different team going off on your team. So that's the NBA. You can't hate it. Uh, what goes around comes back around. So, but Jalen Tyson, 13 for 17 from the field. He has 7 out of 9 3 pointers. Right. So that's 21 points right there. Right. That's 21 points right there. So, those 3 pointers they definitely help. But he finished the game with 39 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Right. Evan Mobley, 6 for 11 from the field, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 blocks. Yeah, Evan Mobley has some blocks in this game. He had a block on Tyrese Maxey. He had a block on a couple other guys. And yeah, yeah, Evan Mobley was all over the place. Right? Evan Mobley was all over. So, yeah. Jared Allen with 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 turnovers. Donovan Mitchell finished this game with 13 points, 12 assists, and 9 rebounds. So he was 1 rebound shy from getting the triple double, right? He found other ways to be impactful. Now he did turn the ball over a lot, especially in that first half. He ended up with 6 turnovers in this game, right? A lot of those came in the first half, but still was able to be a positive in terms of doing other things on the court that the Cavaliers needed, which was rebounding because they're two big men were not getting on the glass like that. So uh, Donovan Mitchell got on the glass and grabbed the most rebounds out of anybody on the court, right? 9 rebounds. So just showing Donovan Mitchell love. What I mean, he had what 33 last game, 13. I mean, that's definitely you did your job, but unfortunately, in the clutch, you was not able to execute, and you ended up losing this game, right? So, I mean, if you ask yourself, what could the Sixers have done right in order to win this game? That's definitely an interesting question. Now, me personally, one of them, I mean, Maxey has to play better next time. But I mean, even though Maxey was playing terribly, you still had the game, right? You still had the game. You was up 7 points with 3 minutes left. Now, a 7 point lead with 3 minutes left in the ball game in today's NBA, it's not a safe lead, right? Being up seven is not it's not enough separation, right? It's not enough separation. You still have to make shots, you still have to play defense and not give up easy opportunities to the other team. So, if I could ask myself that question, I think number 1, do not act like you got the game won already, right? Cuz it felt like somebody said this and I kind of agree with them. It kind of felt like the Sixers were acting like they were up by 20 with 3 minutes left, or they were acting like it was only like a couple seconds left for the game to be over, right? So number 1, do not act like you got the game won. Number 2, you still got to execute on both sides, right? You still got to execute on both sides. And certain guys don't need to have the basketball in their hands, like Kelly Oubre taking a 3 pointer with the game so close in the clutch, right? That's not a winning formula. Also, getting back on defense, right? Getting back on defense and, not giving the other team easy opportunities to score and cut the deficit or cut the lead, right? And number 3, just playing smart, like Paul George, trying to go for the steal. Jalen Tyson doing a good job shielding them from it, and then he turns a corner. I think the rotations could have been better, but I mean I felt like VJ was in the corner on Donovan Mitchell, and if he had overcommitted, Jalen Tyson was probably going to hit Donovan Mitchell in that corner, and Donovan Mitchell was going to hit the Donovan Mitchell was going to put the Sixers in a casket, right? That was the final play, but yeah, I still felt like the Sixers, yeah, they still could have won, right? And those missed opportunities late game, Paul George missing that turnaround. I mean, that shot is a difficult shot anyway, even though it's not difficult for Paul George, but I mean, me personally, I wouldn't, especially when you're in the paint. You're in the paint. Like I'm not taking a turnaround fadeaway shot, right? I'm not taking that shot. Now, Kelly Oubre was in the dunker spot. If he would have given it to Kelly, Kelly probably would have gotten fouled because Evan Mobley and DeAndre Hunter was right there, right? So there was definitely going to meet him at the rim. It was definitely going to meet him at the rim. So I don't know. It's just I felt like Paul George could have. I don't know, man. But the turnaround fadeaway shot is just nah. That's not a shot that I'm willing to go with. That's not a shot that I'm comfortable with in the clutch with the game on the line, right? Now, does VJ deserve to get more shot opportunities? I mean, probably, maybe, right? Maybe, right? Maybe. But the thing is that who's gonna sacrifice and give VJ more shots? Do y'all want Maxi to sacrifice? I mean, Maxi has been jacking up shots, and y'all been saying that Maxi's carrying the Sixers, right? Now, which I disagree with that. I disagree with that take. Maxi's not carrying the Sixers, right? Carrying is a player averaging twice what the second option is averaging. What I mean by that is if AI is averaging 36 points per game and his second score is averaging 18, that's carrying because he's giving you double the production that the second option is giving you. Maxi's not doing that, right? Maxi's not doing that. So that's not carrying, right? That's not carrying. Carrying is Shaq averaging 38 in the NBA Finals in 2000, and then his second score, which is Kobe, averaging 15 or 16. Now Kobe was hurt in that series, so that's why his production was like that. But that's carrying. Given twice the production that the second option is giving you. So yeah, y'all throw some words out very, very loosely, and it's just that's just not the case, right? But Maxey has to be better. Tyrese Maxey has to be better. And I'm not hold on, let me drop this link. I mean, I don't know if anybody's gonna join, but yeah, just right there. Good. Yeah, Maxey got to be better, right? And I see a lot of people within the Sixer community trying to shield him from criticism. Oh, he's a nice guy, has a nice personality. The fans love him, bro. I don't care, right? I don't care. If you got to play better, you got to play better. I don't care who loves you. I don't care what. I don't care. I don't care about your personality. You have to play better, right? And he's played like trash in back-to-back performances, in back-to-back games. I mean, right? So there's nothing wrong with criticizing him. And yeah, I will have no problem criticizing Joel Embiid, right? And I'm talking about the Maxey fanboys. Y'all have no issues calling Joel Embiid washed, calling him soft. He only jacks up threes, right? Y'all have no problems, no issues criticizing Joel Embiid. But Tyrese Maxey can go out there and in back-to-back games play like ass cheeks and nobody will criticize him, right? The double standard is right in front of y'all face, right? Treat him Maxey with kid gloves. Treat him Maxey with kid gloves. But let me finish with this. Let me finish with the box score, and I'm gonna get back on Maxey. I'm not gonna forget about him. But Craig Porter Jr. 1 for 5. He finished with 2 points, but he gave you 11 assists. Right? He gave you 11 assists, creating opportunities for other guys. DeAndre Hunter came off the bench, giving you 16 points. Naquan Tomlin gave you 9 points. Tyrese Proctor gave you 13. Now, Tyrese Proctor is a rookie, right? He's a rookie, and he played very, very good. Right? He played very, very good in that in the limited amount of minutes that he got. Right? Played 11 minutes and got you 13 points. While Quentin Grimes is playing 30 plus minutes and giving you similar production, right? But let's get to the 76ers. Paul George, 6 for 12 from the field, finished with 14 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. Right? Dominic Barlow, he only played in 16 minutes. Now I was actually surprised. I knew something like this was gonna happen, right? Which is Nick Nurse not playing him a lot of minutes, and especially with him going down the last night with that injury. Yeah, I knew. Yeah, Nick Nurse wasn't gonna play him that many minutes. But yeah, he gave you 2 points, 3 steals, 2 rebounds. Yeah, he had some good steals. Um, no, did he get any offensive rebounds? Probably had 2, but overall you didn't really see him as much because he didn't play a lot of minutes, right? He didn't really play a lot of minutes, so yeah. But I felt like he played good, and in the limited amount of minutes that he was in the game, I felt like he played good, in my opinion. Right? You don't really need him to on the offensive side of the floor, and he can step up on those guards and guard, chase people around the court, right? And then also use his hustle, use his effort, and get the Sixers, those hustle points, right? Joel Embiid, 10 for 22 from the field, right? He shot 46% from the field. 2 for 3 from the 3-point line. 11 for 12 from the free throw line, and then he gave you 33 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Now, 5 rebounds? Are you serious? 5 rebounds? Now, I dropped the link if any of y'all want to come in and give y'all thoughts. I mean, Tune, I want to hear your opinion on this game. So if you still here, hit the link and I know you're gonna cap for some of the Sixer players, but me personally, ain't nobody's above criticism. Right? If you play like trash, you're gonna get criticized. It is what it is. So yeah, 33 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. But like I said, the rebound and effort has to be, we got to get more from our center from a rebounding perspective, right? So Embiid has to get better in that aspect. VJ Ashcombe went 4 for 5 from the field, 2 for 2 from the 3-point line. He gave you 10 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Yeah, it was a good game. Also playing some good defense on Donovan Mitchell too. He started this game off on Donovan Mitchell, right? And Maxey started off on Craig Porter Jr. and then Paul George was on Jalen Tyson. So yeah, Tyrese Maxey. Now hold on, let me go to everybody else. I'm gonna go to everybody else, and then Maxey will be the last person that I'm gonna talk about. Quentin Grimes off the bench, 5 for 12 from the field, 2 for 7 from the 3-point line. Yeah, Quentin Grimes really struggled from the 3-point line. Right, it was just it was just hard to watch. Right, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Yeah, it was good off the bench, but you got outplayed by other guys from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right, other guys coming off the bench for the Cleveland Cavaliers, they outplayed you. Right. Kelly Oubre, 4 for 7 from the field, 2 for 5 from the 3-point line. 12 points and 2 rebounds, 1 assist. I didn't Bona had his moments in that second quarter. 4 points, 4 rebounds, 3 blocks. Right, he had his moments in that stretch, especially in the second. Right, so shout out to him. Trendon Watford 2 for 2, 100% from the field, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Trendon Watford came in, and Trendon was trying to help Maxey get off. Setting screens for him, running the 2-man game with him, but Maxey was just not in rhythm. He wasn't in any kind of rhythm whatsoever. So it just didn't matter at that point, right? It just didn't matter because other guys was, you know, he just wasn't in any kind of rhythm. So yeah, but yeah, last but not least, Jabari Walker, played 3 minutes, didn't really play a ton of minutes, 0 for 2. I mean, if Barlow's not playing in that many minutes, I don't expect Jabari Walker to play any a lot of minutes anyway. So yeah, but last but not least, Tyrese Maxey, 9 for 23 from the field, 2 for 8 from the 3-point line. He gave you 22 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds. Now, 5 rebounds, I can appreciate that. 9 assists, I definitely appreciate that. 5 steals, that is fantastic. But 22 points off 23 shots, 22 points. 22 points. There's nothing wrong with calling out Maxey after this performance, right? There's nothing wrong with calling out Maxey after this performance. He played like trash, right? For the whole game, he played like trash. I'm not just gonna look at the clutch or the couple points he had in the clutch and say that he played well. No, even if the Sixers would have won this game, I still would have called out Maxey for his trash performance. Now I would have given him credit for stepping up in the clutch and doing what the team needed to get the victory. I would have given him credit for that for his moments in the clutch. But overall, his overall performance, no. No, and there's nothing wrong with calling out Maxey for playing like trash. And everybody that's holding their tongue and don't want to call Maxey out, y'all got to do a better job, right? Because if it was Joel Embiid, y'all would call him out. Y'all would crack jokes, rubber knee, one knee, all kinds of shit, right? Y'all have no issues. Y'all have no problems calling out Joel Embiid, right? Y'all have no issues. And sometimes I think sometimes some of these guys they cater to the Maxi fanboys, right? They cater to the Maxi fanboys and they just don't want to call him out on any criticism, right? Because a lot of kids be on their platforms, so they don't want to call out Maxi. Now I'm not mentioning any names. I'm not calling out any names, but because y'all want to cater to the Maxi fanboys, y'all don't want to call Maxi out. And that is just wrong. Right? That is just wrong because if it was Joel Embiid, y'all would definitely call him out. Now I got Tune In Sports on the line now. Let's hear him cap. What's good, bro?
What's good, bro? You get me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna be too long, man. Nah, I'm not here to cap, bro. I'm just says it was a good game, bro. I thought it was a good game. I thought it was a high percentage game in the first. Both teams going at it. I do feel like y'all had an opportunity to win. Y'all should have won the game, honestly, bro. But y'all let us come back. All due aside, I really thought y'all was gonna win the game for real. I thought the Cavs was gonna end up losing. Like I felt like we was making like runs to try to come back, and y'all kept on answering and hitting shots. But I felt like the Cavs was gonna lose. But man, that Jalen Tyson, man, that boy, something special, bro. But I thought it was a good game, man, and y'all should have definitely like won this game because y'all actually need to win this game because we've been beating y'all, and it's definitely gonna like probably when y'all spin a block back on this, you're gonna see like what you like the tiebreakers and in the standings like when it's time for that or home court advantage, like we're gonna have the upper hand on that, right? So y'all should have won this game, especially with no Darius Garland, no Sam Merrill, like. I don't know how y'all don't win it. Y'all have y'all full big three. Y'all have the big three, right? You have MB, Maxey, and Paul George. Y'all should have won this game, man. And y'all let us come back and do that to y'all. And y'all let a second year player, Jalen Tyson, basically do that to y'all. He basically did that to y'all. And I want to say shout out to Jalen Tyson because I've been big on Jalen Tyson since last year, telling everybody like, yo, watch out. Everybody like, oh, you overrating Jalen Tyson, man. When it was time to make the trade for DeAndre Hunter, they was trying to like a fan was trying to like put him in the package. I'm like, nah, he's untouchable. Like I'm high on Jalen Tyson. Like he got a high upside. Y'all gotta like stop sleeping on him, man. Like the offense is there. If he have the defense click with the offense, he's gonna be like a really good high level role player. And you seeing it this year, like given the opportunity, Jalen Tyson been killing when given the opportunity. Like his impact is real, and I like Jalen Tyson. I like Naquan Tom. I like the young guys that we giving opportunities to. And you saw the unselfish play by Jalen Tyson at the end. He could have easily been like one of them players that like a bonehead. So you have bonehead players who don't have a high IQ that probably would have took that play for themselves or just forcing something. But he saw Evan Mobley and he was passing it up even with the eye hand. He saw the open man and he hit Evan Mobley to get the game-winning dunk. And I just want to salute him for that unselfish play. Great teammate, great team player, and yeah, man. Shout out to the Cavs, man. The Cavs is back, bro. Watch out. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it was a good game from him. But me
Shout
personally,
shout 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 out to BJ, man. Shout out to BJ. Shout out to the pull up. BJ, I don't know if that's you, BJ, but yeah, shout out to BJ.
but yeah, it was a good game for Jalen Tyson. Now, me personally, I kind of hear people saying, "Oh, Jalen Tyson went off in the Sixers," but I would rather a role player go off rather than Donovan Mitchell because if Donovan Mitchell goes off, it's a blowout, and we saw that in the first two games, right? When he went up for 40 plus, it was a blowout. Even though the Sixers made a It ended up being a 10-point lead, but it was a blowout. The Cavs were up by 30 at one point, and then on
Yeah.
Wednesday night when he went off again, it was a blowout again. So, but when Jalen Tyson went off, the Sixers were still in the game, right? It was only in the clutch. I mean, they were up by 7 points with like 3 minutes left, but some boneheaded plays. Jalen Tyson hitting two threes. DeAndre Hunter having a huge dunk, and the Sixers not
Woo!
the Sixers not able
Man,
to.
I jumped out of my seat for that one, man.
Nah, that wasn't, bro. That wasn't. That Tomlin dunk was better than that.
No, was it?
Yeah,
Nah,
yes, it was. No,
no. Embiid actually fell, bro. When
yeah,
you fall, come
Embiid
on.
can't even jump, bro. Nigga can't even jump, bro. But that Tomlin dunk, yeah, I was like, oh shit. Embiid got dunked on like 5 times in his four or 5 times in his game. It was sad, but me personally, I think the Sixers had the winning formula and they just didn't execute right in the clutch, and that's what cost them the game. But yeah, I see. Yeah, he left, but I see you making excuses for Maxey and trying to treat Maxey with kid gloves. But if it was Embiid, y'all would be making all kinds of jokes, right? Y'all would be making all kinds of jokes about Embiid, and be one knee, rubber knee, all kinds of shit, right? But when Maxi plays like trash, when he plays like dog water, y'all don't want to call him out on his performance. And me personally, that's one thing I disagree with, right? I feel like if somebody plays like trash, you should be able to, you should be able to criticize them and demand that they get better, they play better, especially if you hold them up to high standards, right? I hold Maxi up to high standards. I'm calling him a top 5 guard in the Eastern Conference. And as a top 5 guard, I expect you to play better every single night. Now, you might have a few off nights here or there, but back to back nights having, off nights, like, no, that's not unacceptable. Right. And Maxey is not carrying the Sixers. I hate when y'all push that narrative. Tyrese Maxey is not carrying the Sixers. So can you stop pushing that narrative, Tuna Sports? I don't know if you're saying anything, but you on
Yeah,
mute.
you get me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I'm back. I'm back in. No, I had left and came back. Um,
All right.
yeah, nah, I didn't hear you said Maxi. We pushing a narrative for Maxi
Yeah,
being a
Maxey's
top.
not carrying the Sixers. Can y'all stop pushing that narrative?
Bro, I respect Maxi a lot, bro. I just like if he wasn't a Sixer, bro, I'll probably be more of a fan of Maxi. But because I know he's on your squad, bro, I cannot like Maxi. But I do respect Maxi because I used to watch him when he was in high school. Like even going to college, like Maxi is a hooper. Um, I mean, Maxi, y'all best player, bro. And B era is come to an end. It's basically over, bro. And Embiid is done, bro. Like he's a part-time player. This is Maxi team. He's averaging 30, bro. Like, just give the kid his respect. He been carrying y'all, and that's just what
No,
it is.
that's where I disagree with. How is he carrying the Sixers?
Is Maxi a part-time player, or
What
has he
what is
been
what is carrying? What does carrying mean?
being available, being there for your team, scoring, or helping your team win games? How many times has Embiid played, and how many times have Maxi been available? I think Maxi been way more available than Embiid.
I mean that's true because I mean Maxi's not dealing with any injuries and he's younger.
Sure,
So I mean
sure,
he
but
played
he's
38
available.
games. You said what?
No, my bad. I'm just saying, yeah, he's available, bro. He's more available.
Yeah, yeah, he's more of a. I mean, I don't mind if you calling him the best player, but the narrative of him carrying the Sixers, that's just not true because carrying is given twice the production that the second option is giving you. For example, when AI in 2001 was averaging what 33, 34, the next scorer was averaging 17. That's carrying. What Shaq was doing in the 2000 finals, that's carrying, averaging 38, and his next score is averaging 15 or 16 points. That's carrying. But Maxi's not doing that. Maxi got 3, 4 guys in double figures. So how's that carrying?
Who's your second best player?
For the
Embiid.
duration of the season or as of right now?
Nah. I mean, in general. I mean,
In general?
yeah, in general. Who's your second best? Do you think Embiid is the best player or Maxi the best player?
Nah,
Yeah.
I said I agree. Maxi is the best player on the Sixers for sure.
Okay. So I just feel like Maxi when his second best player is not there, he's helping the team stay afloat. That's like when I'm saying Donovan Mitchell, I mean, clearly Donovan Mitchell's the best player, but he'll be carrying the Cavs when Darius Garland is out. Even though it's been a collective group effort for the most part, most of the time. But if Darius is out, Donovan has to carry the load. He has to do more because Darius not there, so he has to be that point guard and stuff. He has to make more plays and be a facilitator, and
Right.
and score more. That's what I'm saying. Also, so when B not there, Maxey, Maxey beat Maxey, man. I mean, Maxey averaging 30, bro. Like he's averaging 30. I mean, whether you want to say is winning basketball, he's jacking up shots. I'm just saying, Embiid is not there most of the time or hasn't been there. So there's nothing wrong with that, bro. I think the Sixers. I like the little group y'all got. I think y'all got a solid group. When Embiid is actually on the floor. I think I got a solid group. And
Right.
Paul George being a third option. I even like Grimes. Grimes was solid yesterday. He had a couple plays he made and got some steals or whatever.
Right.
Grimes is a Grimes realistically, man. He should be making more money than what he's making right now. But yeah,
Bro, how? He's not consistent.
come on, bro. I'm just Grimes. Hold up, Grimes will be gone after this season. He's a rental anyway, so it's whatever. But he's good, bro. Grimes is good.
Well, you think a team's gonna pay him what he's looking for?
No, no, no. I don't think a team gonna pay him what they're looking for, what he's looking for. But I'm just saying, I don't think he's gonna stay with Philly. I think somebody will offer him something.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be long term because he's not. Now he started off the season hot, but
Mm-hmm.
these last few games it's been a little shaky because he's not consistent.
Well, he's not in the starting lineup no more, right? I got you got VJ and Grimes just come off the bench, right?
Yeah, but he playing 30+ minutes a night.
True, still getting a good production time, good minutes.
Good minutes, yeah.
Yeah, about the same starting minutes. But I don't know. I don't think I think he's going. I don't think he's staying with Philly, but
He'll probably
Grimes is a good role player, man. He's a decent role player for y'all. He'll help y'all in the playoffs. He'll help y'all in the playoffs for
yeah,
sure.
but I don't know if he's gonna be consistent because these last few games he's been
We
shaky.
gotta see it though, bro. We gotta see it in the playoffs. We, we gotta see it in the playoffs. Y'all ain't make the playoffs last year, so we ain't get a chance to see what ground that little run grounds went on. And we ain't get a chance to see it. So
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I'm just saying if right now you can't be consistent, how can you be consistent in the playoffs?
possibly, but I saw players be consistent and they become inconsistent in the playoffs as well. I seen players be consistent for the season, and then once the playoffs hit, they look like a different person. So I mean, vice versa. I mean, yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah, it could go either or.
it go anyway. I'm just saying, playoffs. I'll say okay. Grounds. He was not. He's inconsistent in the playoffs. When that happened, like okay,
Yeah,
he ain't show up. But yeah, like Jalen Tyson going off right now. Jalen Tyson go be in the playoffs and wet the bed. But I don't expect that because of how he's been playing throughout the season. I expect Jalen Tyson to carry his play over to the postseason. That's why when you get paid, you're getting paid for the regular season, but your legacy is the playoffs. That's where your legacy starts. Your
right.
legacy is not regular season. You're earning your contract. You're getting paid for the regular season to show up, but your legacy, your playoffs is your legacy.
Yeah, that's true. But
Yeah.
I want to know your thoughts on Tyrese Proctor because he came off the bench and gave you some good production in limited minutes.
Tyrese Proctor good, bro. I mean, he's a rookie, man. So I don't expect too much from him, and he just show up when his number is called. Cavs have been dealing with injuries, so you never know. Kenny been having different rotations, so you never know who could be playing, man. 1 minute Lonzo might not be playing, and then the next minute, this player might be playing. Like Larry Nance, he's been out. Like we've been sitting Larry Nance down. Like Cavs been dealing with a lot of like the league been dealing with injuries, but I know injuries part of the game, but Cavs been dealing with injuries, bro. So Tyrese Proctor, I just think he's a solid player. He's a Duke player, so you can't go wrong with Duke guys, bro. I feel like he's gonna be a good addition for us, especially for the future. I feel like I don't know how much run he would get down the line when it comes to playoff time. I don't think he's gonna be in the rotation. But right now, he might see some playing time. Darius Garland's out, Sam Merrill's out, Max Strus is out. So we gonna, Kenny gonna go with the guys he gonna go with. But Tyrese Proctor, I think, he's still getting his feet wet. He's a good sized guard who could play both sides of the ball. And he had a good, didn't have a bad shooting night. What did he went 3 for? They go 3 for 4.
Bro,
Yeah,
he was knocking down threes.
yeah. It was, I think it was 3 for 4. But
Yeah, something
yeah,
like
Proctor, yeah, he could shoot. If you could space the floor, play defense, and you got a good size as a guard, yeah, you could get some playing time, bro. And the Cavs need size, man. So it's a plus. Like I'm cool with Proctor, man. For long term, I'm cool with him. Um,
yeah.
yeah, long term.
Yeah, I was impressed. He was knocking down threes. I mean, he had a lot of wide open threes. I mean, they was getting wide open threes. Jalen Tyson, majority of his threes was wide open.
That's a Jalen Tyson that has improved, bro. Like I'm really been impressed with Jalen Tyson. I know a lot of Cavs fans, they've been up and down on the season, but it's like I'd rather like go through this now than late on, if you get what I'm saying. Like I know, like last year, it was all like we did all that last year being the number one offense. Like it was cute, but when the playoffs started, we got tested, and it showed that um we wasn't ready, physically, mentally. We just wasn't ready. So being number one in the league or having the number one offense didn't mean much. Doing all that stuff in the regular season didn't mean much because when it came down to the playoffs, that's where it matters, and we didn't show up. So I feel like coming into this year, it hasn't been the best season, but at least you getting out the bad. Like that's what regular season for. I know people say regular season don't matter, but I feel like regular season is to create good habits. Go over things y'all need to work on and prepare y'all going into the postseason. So sometimes you might find guys who might actually be good for your rotation, like guys getting opportunities, like Naquan Tomlin. Who knows? He might be a guy you use in the playoffs, maybe, but you get to see other guys play. So it's regular season matters to a certain point, but I just like getting out the way now. Like I don't want to peak at the wrong time. I rather like hit my stride at the right time. If you get what I'm saying, like I'm it's
Yeah,
okay. Like it's frustrating, but it's okay. I like if the reward at the end is the Cavs make a deep run, then it was worth going through these growing pains. For me personally.
yeah, I agree. I mean, the Cavs they've been up and down this season. I mean, uh, what you call it? They still in the seven. They still in the plan. I mean, because at
Nah,
one
we
point,
passed y'all, bro. That's why I said it was important for y'all to win the game last night. We in the fifth. I,
yeah.
I think we fifth now. And y'all in the seventh.
So the Sixers are now in the plan.
Yeah, that's why I said it was important. That game y'all should have won last night. Like that was y'all game to win. Y'all should have won that game because we won back. We won back to back basically, and that put us in the driver's seat to take over in the standings.
Yeah,
So now we switch. We basically switched spots.
yeah, because the Sixers was the fifth seed at one point.
Right. Y'all was fifth. Yeah.
So those two losses, yeah, and then the Magic won. Now they the fifth seed. Cavs is the sixth seed, and then the Sixers is the seventh seed. That's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, hey, it's gonna switch, man. Like, hey, I'm not trying to be the fifth or sixth seed. So, but I'm not trying to be in at least as long as I'm not in the play in, it's whatever. As long as I'm in a good
Yeah,
spot and got home court, I'm cool.
yeah,
Just
that's all that matters.
right. So y'all could, yeah, if y'all stay afloat, I think y'all actually, y'all actually been solid, bro. BJ, and I know you like. So remember, y'all was crying. Well, y'all wasn't crying, but y'all was a lot of y'all was like, we want Ace, man. But VJ, I think is the right pick for y'all, man. I think that was a good selection for y'all over Ace, in my opinion. But
Yeah, I think he playing good. I mean, you got Sixer fans saying that he should be the second option.
nah, man.
Embiid and Paul George, they got to be the
Nah.
fourth option. I
I
mean,
mean, if you rebuild and if you say okay, Embiid and Paul George getting out of there, okay, but I mean you still had them two guys there. I mean personally, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have Embiid or Paul George. I would have got them up out of here if I could.
bro, hold on. Let's address that. What's your problem with Embiid? Because Embiid played good, other than getting dunked on. He was doing good offensively. So what should
No,
be?
Embiid was doing good. Embiid was cooking. He was giving it to Allen. Allen kept on.
I
He was
told
look.
you, Allen, down, bro.
Nah, he was giving it to Allen. Allen was hey, Allen was playing defense, bro. He was trying, man. Embiid is who he is, bro. He's he's Embiid, so he was hitting his shots, getting to the spots. I mean, me personally, bro, I don't think Embiid is gonna lead y'all to a championship, bro. So that's why I'm like, just unpack him, just get him out of here, man. And he's not. It's him not being able to lead y'all to a championship. I just don't see it happening, and his health. A healthy Embiid, okay, I can understand. Like, all right, healthy Embiid is a different situation, but Embiid that's not healthy, who's a part-time player, I just can't trust it, bro, to lead my team to the promised land. I just don't see it happen. I just don't see him leading y'all nowhere, bro. That's just me personally. I don't see it, bro. I'm sorry. He's not that guy. He's not a leader. I just don't see it.
Bro, he's not a part-time player. He just don't play back-to-backs, just like Lonzo.
Bro, okay, these players have injuries, bro. So part-time player, man. They call Kawhi a part-time player too. Like, if you're not playing, the full season, you're playing some games. I mean, you're part time, man. You're playing every now and then. And B has only played 20 something games this season. Yeah, about 20 something games.
That's improvement from the season before.
Sure, but it's just the unknown. Like, I just never know. Like, I'm not wishing it on him. I'm just saying, like his health, man. I just don't know, bro. And you can even see it, like DeAndre Hunter dunking on him, like Hunter challenging Embiid, like, and Embiid's supposed to be like, he's his paint presence supposed to be there, right? But you can just see like the lift on Embiid. Like, I don't know, it's just Embiid not the same. He still got it. He still a ball though. But you got guys like Hunter, Tomlin challenging him, man. Like, oh man,
Bro, it's basketball. Anybody can get dunked on at any.
anybody get dunked on. But
Yeah.
so you think Embiid still got the same lift?
I think what?
I said you think Embiid still got like the same lift in his
Oh,
legs.
nah, hell no.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he not that guy.
Yeah, I think it might take him up until probably maybe the All-Star break for we to see if he can get more lift. But if it's just like this year, the Sixers are probably a first round exit.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they don't run into the Cavs in the first round.
Oh yeah. What BJ said? He said y'all better avoid us at all costs, man. It's
Yeah,
not.
because I said that I said that Thursday, and he probably disagreed. But after last night, he probably agrees right
Oh,
now.
he changed his mind. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's not. Yeah. It's not what y'all want, bro. Y'all better off playing like the Raptors or somebody. Yeah. No, not us, bro. Um. Cavs are scary, bro. Like, when the Cavs get healthy again, like, it's not gonna be good.
mm.
I'm not trying to trash talk, but it just is what it is, man. I've been saying, I said a fully healthy Cavs team should make a deep run. I'm not saying they're gonna go to the finals and win, because I don't. I say right now, I don't think the Cavs gonna win the finals, but I do think they could go on a deep. I think they get to the conference final. I think they get to the finals, but I don't think they could win the finals. I don't know. I don't see that, but I do think they can make a deep run, fully healthy, not half healthy, like fully healthy with all the guys there, including Darius Garland.
Yeah, I mean, what's up with Garland? Because he missed the first 17, 18 games, and then he returned against the Sixers, and I think he been in and out the lineups.
Bro, I don't even know anymore, bro. Like that, he didn't, bro. He had surgery on that left foot, that toe, and he didn't hurt his right foot, bro. Playing y'all, so it's like that. Both his toes. It's like them
Alright.
them feet injuries. Them toe, like, you need your toes, obviously, bro. Like, when there's anything with the lower body, like, it's just like, it's like, I don't know, man. It's looking scary. Like, if he keep getting hurt, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know when he's gonna come back. Right now, the Cavs just gotta hold it down. I don't know when he's coming back. Hopefully he's not out for too long, but it's his right foot. So
Yeah,
yeah, not the foot not the foot he had surgery on, but
the other foot.
yeah, right. So it's like, damn, bro, both of your toes. Like it's unfortunate. Like Garland, can you all right? Can you say Garland is injury prone? Are you?
He is.
Yeah, he injury prone now,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, a jaw injury, and then last year with the toe, and then this year another toe. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, he always getting hurt. He like frail.
I mean, I seen his injury history.
Uh,
It was
yeah.
like shoulder injury, elbow injury, knee injuries,
He was hurt when he first got in the league too.
and got in the league. Right, right. That's what I'm saying. His
Right.
history it's not looking too good. Yeah, it's not looking too good. But I mean, I think the Cavs they can still hold it down. I mean,
Oh,
if
oh,
they
they could.
I
Donovan,
mean,
yeah.
Jalen Tyson ain't gonna drop 39 every game,
He
right?
could.
'Cause
No, not every
he's
game.
playing teams are gonna play it differently, right? So, but I think they can hold it down. I mean, I think they can be consistent.
Yeah, you just
Oh,
need. You just,
I got a hot take. I got a hot take, but I think Max Strus got to get traded, and Jalen Tyson can replace him. Then y'all gonna be fine.
and I mean Tyson already be starting some games, so it's like I don't know. I like Max Juice, bro. I don't know if Max Juice gonna look the same when he come
Bro,
back.
hold on? What do you be seeing in these clips, bro?
Mad Max, man.
Has Strus ever had a performance like that as a Cav?
As a cap, yeah, he had a performance similar to that.
No, he did not. Stop.
Yes, he
I'm
did.
not
Bro.
taking that weak ass game win over the Mavericks. Nah, that's not comparable.
He had a performance like that in the playoffs too. I just
What playoffs?
last was it last year or was it the year before that? He had a performance I think against the Celtics when he had a heater.
With the
Uh,
Cavs?
yeah,
Hell no.
with the Cavs. I think it was against the Celtics. Bro, it don't even matter, bro. Max Strus is
No, I'm
is
gonna pull it up. Hold on, cause you be
Mitchell won his chip. Yeah, Bruce. Yeah, Mitchell did win his chip, man. But that's not his only ring he gonna have this year, bro.
he
Yeah,
said
he gonna.
Cavs not gonna win a chip even with 10.
Hey, Bruce, look, they might not win the chip, man. They might not, but hey, I think we have a better position to win than the Clippers, man.
Man, strippers
Or
bro,
the shit y'all would call it.
stripping ain't easy, bro.
Oh man, I think they had a higher percentage chance than y'all over there, man. But yeah,
But I mean, when you get rid of Chris Paul, you'll be successful. And
hey man, that's your opinion, man. Chris, the Chris Paul slander. Oh man,
bro, like I said, he never went off against the Celtics. 5 points, 12 points, 6 points, 15 points, 12 points. Bro, he never went over as a Cavalier, bro.
right? He went, yeah, bro. He had a performance in the playoffs, bro. I can't think off the top of my head right now. He had a performance, bro. He for sure had a performance when he went off. It had to be against the Celtics, bro. He had a performance in the playoffs when he caught fire. It could have been. I'm not saying for 39 points. He ain't never have a game like that. No, I'm not saying that, bro. He
Bro,
never
that's
had like a 30. No, if you talking about like that, nah. He never had like a 30-point performance in the playoffs, like Jalen Tyson just had in the regular season. But that's
bro,
regular season, bro. Who cares, bro?
it don't matter.
It's regular season, bro.
It don't matter though.
Yeah, Kirk. He's he's a Chris Paul hater, man.
It don't matter because if Jalen Tyson is showing you what he's capable of doing right now, I mean, in the postseason, it could be.
I will hope so. Yeah, I'm not rooting against him, of course. I will hope so, bro.
Bro, he got game, bro.
Yeah, he got get. Yeah, he do. He got game. I'm not saying he don't.
Now
He
I'm
got
saying he got game like he better than Max Strus. He better than.
um.
And where Max Strus at? He still hurt.
Max Shoes hurt, so it's you can't really. But you said trade Max Shoes. I don't know.
Trade, wave, cut, or whatever. Make space. Give this
Yeah,
give
he
this guy a
crazy.
huge contract.
Yeah,
Give
I
him,
know y'all. I know y'all like Max Shoes like that, so that's cool. So
bro.
you
He
want to trade, man?
never shows up, bro.
Nah, he showed up. He shows up, bro.
Okay,
The
let's look
Cavs
at
don't
the
show up.
last playoff game
Cavs
against.
don't be healthy. The Cavs don't be healthy, bro.
Man, stop it. So why you don't
Um,
step up?
why you don't step up? He did step up one time. He did.
All right. So against the Pacers, last game, 0 point.
Bro, how you gonna bring up the last game when he was doing something before that? Like, come on, bro. You
What
picking
was
out? He was going off he was holding it down against the Pacers. Like, how you gonna pick the
All right, all
last
right,
game?
all right, I'm gonna pull it up. All right.
Like, You picking the last game. Come on, man.
because that's the last time he was in the playoffs. The game before, he had 11 points. Game prior, he had 20, 23, 7. Bro, he ain't like that, bro. This is last season, correct?
I think so. I
Yeah,
got. I got.
just
I got to check.
yeah. After this season, let him walk. He'll probably go back to the Miami cheat. He'll probably have some good moments against them. I mean, with them. It is what, bro. This shit over with, bro. Go with the younger guys. Go with Jalen Tyson, Tyrese Proctor. They the future. As much as y'all keep saying the Sixers got the future with VJ, with Maxey, and these other guys, y'all got a future too with the younger guys. So, uh, we need the Kawhi lab for the Cavs.
Hey
Yeah,
DJ, hey DJ, I'll be right back, bro. I gotta take this call. I'll be right back, bro.
all right tonight.
All right.
Yeah, Toon he be trolling. He be trolling, but yeah, this loss was definitely it was definitely a terrible loss. The Sixers they've taken some terrible losses this season. Against the Nuggets, that was a terrible loss. The first game the third game against the Raptors, which was on this Sunday, terrible loss. You lost by 1 point, one possession game, and then against the Cavs, you were up by 7 points with 3 minutes left, and then later on you end up losing the game. Like that's just terrible. And I think there has to be structure, right? And to people blaming Nick Nurse, and people, one thing I noticed with some Sixer fans is when they don't want to give Maxey the blame, they just deflect, and it's easy to blame the head coach for that, right? It's easy to blame Nick Nurse for the loss, but Maxey played like ass cheeks, and he just has to. You got to call him out on that, right? You got to hold him accountable, and there's nothing wrong with me holding him accountable. And with Nick Nurse's rotations, I felt like the rotations this game was. I think they were good, right? I felt like they were good because the minutes where Embiid was off the court, Embiid and Maxey was off the court, the Sixers were up by double digits at one point. And those were the biggest leads they had in the game, being up 10 points, 11 points, with those two guys off the court. Now, I'm not saying that those two guys off the court, when they're not playing, the Sixers are a better team without them. No, I'm not saying that. But in that game, in the moment, those guys were playing better without Maxey and Embiid, right? The Sixers were playing better without Maxey and Embiid. So I think Nick Nurse, one thing, maybe some of the challenges, and sometimes he just gets in the faces of the officials. I mean, that's just not a good look. I mean, even though as your head coach, you want to see him like into the game, like passionate, and all about the players and his squad. Like you do want to see that, but constantly being in the faces of the officials, that's the only thing I don't like. Right? Sometimes Embiid, right? He'll go down, crying for a call, and then not get back on defense. I mean, even when he gets back on defense, he's too slow, right? So it's always going to be an advantage for the other team if they're playing fast, right? But complaining, doing the Lucas shit, crying for calls, like that shit is not thorough. So and B got to be better too. But yeah, I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. Uh, yeah, terrible loss. But let me take a look at at the schedule ahead. So the Sixers are 22 and 18, right? They lost their last two games. So they're only 4 games over 4 games over 500. Right? 4 games over 500, 40 games into the season. So it's what, 42 games left? Yeah, it's not looking good, man. A lot of a lot of winnable games, and you let those opportunities, like, they slipped away, and it's just, yeah, it's not looking good. But so the next game is against the Indiana Pacers, 7 o'clock at home. So they're gonna be at home for a while now. Against Indiana, against Phoenix, against Houston, and they welcome the New York Knicks at home. So the next couple games at home is the next couple games will be at home. The next 5 games, right? Um, yeah, and then they'll go to Charlotte, take on the Hornets, and then come back home for 3 more, and then they're gonna go on the West Coast trip. Yeah, they'll be on the West Coast trip and face the Lakers. I mean, face the Clippers, the Lakers, the Warriors, the Phoenix Suns, the Portland Trailblazers. These games are always going to be very, very difficult for some Sixer fans because the games start at 10 o'clock, right? 10 o'clock, and I mean, me personally, it ain't nothing. I mean, I'm gonna stay up and watch my team. It ain't nothing, but to the other guys, yeah, it's just it'll be too much for them. Yeah, so but I hope these 2 losses can help fuel the Sixers heading into next week, right? Because they went 1-3 this week, right? They went 1-3, losing to the Raptors and then losing 2 games to the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? So, next week it might be Maxey might play with you know he might play with a different kind of motivation, um, and who knows, maybe the Sixers might win all the next 4 games, right? Even though I don't think it's possible, but or probably go 3-1 in that stretch. But yeah, I think the Sixers. I think they'll be fine. But at this point, you're in the play-in, so you just have to. The sense of urgency has to be there, and you got to take it 1 game at a time. But at this point, yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Right, 2 games behind the Cleveland Cap, probably 3 games at this point because they got the tiebreaker. So yeah, you're in the play-in right now, and every game that you lose, the other team might pass you, right? Because Miami's right behind us, and Miami's got the tiebreaker because they beat the Sixers early on in the season. The Atlanta Hawks definitely got the tiebreaker because they beat the Sixers twice this season. So, yeah, it's not looking good for the Sixers, right? It's not looking good for the Sixers, and they should go on a winning streak and get themselves out the play-in at this point, right? They should go on the winning streak and get themselves out the plane. The plane is not a place that you want to be in. And shout out to the Celtics. The Celtics are the second seed as of right now, 25-15. The Sixers have the tiebreaker against them, but they've been playing some good basketball. Shout out to Jalen Brown. He's been hooping. But yeah. Anything else? Anything else? I mean, that got everything. Talked about everything. Um, yeah, Jared McCann just got sent to the G League. I just seen it after Nick Nurse said they wasn't going to send him to the G League. So Nick Nurse is a liar. Nick Nurse is a liar, right? Um, yeah, it's just, man, tough, 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 tough. Shout out to Jalen Tyson again, for helping Evan Mobley redeem himself. Because if the Cavs would have lost the game, they probably would have blamed Evan Mobley for that. But Jalen Tyson, turns a corner, wraparound pass to Evan Mobley. Mobley gets the dunk, gives them a 2 point cushion, and yeah, they win the game. Yeah, it's sad. It is sad. But yeah, that's everything. That's all I got. That's all I got. But yeah, that's all I got. But smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Salute to Kirk. What up, Kirk? Salute to Bruce in here. Salute to Tuna Sports. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. And salute to Boston Jubilee. But I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Peace.